I need to leave for the airport in like 15 minutes, but I think I can just manage to talk about this backpack before I go. I bought this bag because I needed just that one backpack. Now, it doesn't mean that this is the only bag I'm going to be carrying around for my trips, but if I needed to go for maybe a 1 or 2 night trip with my camera gear, this bag is going to do the job. The problem with my old camera bag is that it was big enough for my camera gear, but if I needed to travel, I needed to take a separate bag. I've been saying I need to leave in 15 minutes, and I'm actually like 20 minutes over my deadline, so I should get going. So basically I need a new bag because I've been traveling a lot more this year, and honestly I've never bought myself a nice camera backpack before, and I always just made do with the current backpack that I had, and I had other small camera bags that I used as inserts, and it worked fine. But because there were situations that I needed a bigger bag and I didn't have a way to pad them for my cameras, I needed a new bag. Now the thing I didn't like about the Peak Design bag is that it has a third column and it has 2 doors on either side. So if you wanted to get something out of the middle, there wasn't a dedicated zipper that you could open. You'd have to go through either side, take out what you packed on that side to gain access to the middle of the bag. Now for me, that wasn't practical at all, so I started looking elsewhere. In comes this bag. This is the, well, if you can't tell already, this is the Lowepro Protactic BP 450 AW2. Rolls off the tongue. Don't know why you wouldn't name your bag that, it's so catchy. Now this is a bag that's been around for quite some time. This is just the newest version, which just came out I think late this year. So actually there's a lot of things that are similar between this bag and the version 1. So if you were a fan of the old version, chances are you're probably going to be a fan of this bag here. Things that attracted me the most to this bag is the fact that I need to carry a 15-inch laptop. I need to carry more than just my camera gear, and also access points. Now talking about access points first, there's 4 main ways to access the main compartment of this bag. There's that top shell right there, then there's pockets on either side right here and there, and then on top of that you have the main compartment opening right here in the back. Ta-da! The thing you need to know about this bag is that if you're not used to big backpacks, or you don't want a big backpack, don't get this one. I was going to work or going to school or something like that, I wouldn't be lugging this around every day just because you don't need it. Well, unless you have a lot of stuff that you carry around with you every day, in which case you probably have a lot of baggage. But aside from my other requirements about this bag, the other thing that I really liked about it is the fact that it's so modular. So as it is, it's really quite clean. I like that look, and it doesn't attract too much attention. However, you can add other things to this bag, so it actually comes with extra stuff that I left at home. But there's extra pouches that you can actually strap on to these straps right here. So basically the possibilities are endless, because you can basically attach other pouches to this that you can buy separately from Lowepro, but they do give you 1 or 2 pouches with the bag. On top of that, there are these other small pouches on the side. Pouches right here, these small ones, are actually bigger on the version 2. They're pleated right here, which actually really helps. Checking out the version 1, you can definitely store stuff in there, but if you have a big wallet or something like that, it's a little bit annoying getting that in and out. So I like this a little bit more, but honestly, that brings us to the next point about this bag, is my little quirks with it. In my previous bag, there were basically 2 compartments, just the main one, and then sort of a pouch right here that you can store other things. Now, I miss that small pouch because it's bigger than this. That's the pouch I store my passports and my wallet when I'm traveling. It's easy in and out. When I'm on some kind of trolley or something like that, just open it up, boom. Or if I have the bag behind me, I can easily unzip it without looking and gain access to my wallet, to my passport really quickly. Now with these pouches right here, first of all, they're smaller, and secondly, they're higher up on the bag, which means I usually have to take it off to gain access to it. Another thing I should mention about the differences between this version and version 1 is that the zippers on the main compartment right here are beefier in the second version, and that to me was probably the nail in the coffin, the reason that I invested more money in this than in the version 1 because it'll probably last longer. Probably. Hopefully. Now, speaking of investments, the price hike between this one and the version 1 is considerable. I'm just checking the prices now. This is about $100 more, and considering that the other one is about $170, the lowest that I've seen on Amazon, that's a pretty considerable price hike. So if you're in the market for a big camera backpack, this is probably one you should consider. You should also take a look at the version 1. There's a reason that bag's a classic, and for $170, I think that's a pretty good deal, considering that that's sold for around $270 when it was new, which is what this one is currently selling for. The only reason I think you should invest in the second version is if that bigger zipper to you makes a difference. Also, these straps are actually a little bit more comfortable than the version 1. It didn't make too much of a difference to me, honestly, but they did feel a little bit better. But you know, the version 1 actually has a harder top shell than this. Doesn't make a difference to me, but if it does to you, consider the version 1. Anyway, this bag is still relatively new. I think it only came out September this year, which is why there aren't a lot of reviews about it. In fact, this isn't even a review about it. This is just a first impressions video, but I'll have more thoughts on it. I'm gonna be taking this out today through San Fran, and honestly, I wasn't planning on that, except that San Fran has gotten so cold, and my normal camera bag, this one, can't carry an extra jacket. So, thanks, San Fran.